Hey everyone, what is up? I'm your host Chris, K-R-I-S, and this year at E3 2016, Detroit Become Human was shown in a very spectacular trailer that I ended up writing down a bunch of notes about. And information was released afterwards, so I have a lot of stuff I want to say. I'm going to read out some of the information that was released and then give my thoughts on what is said. Hopefully this is truly a great sequel spiritually to Heavy Rain and not whatever the hell that Beyond Two Souls was. Let's just forget that even existed. I still can't get over how much I hate Elaine Page's face in that. Every single screenshot, she had a blank expression. She was either bored or uninterested the entire time. I don't know what was happening. But anyway, and at one point she was dressed like Kelly Osbourne from 2002. What the fuck? Who thought that was good? No, get away from that. But anyway, Detroit Become Human. Here is some of the information released and my thoughts on it. The gameplay is very usual in a way, but the player interacts with the environment and makes choices. The story can be told through many different decisions and its gameplay and the clues that you find. As the trailer showed, the first interaction, the kid died, she went splat, and then it kind of rewound back to him looking at like ID, the android that was holding the gun to the girl's head. He was going to be replaced, which is, I feel, really sad personally. You know, I'm on the side of, if something becomes sentient, it deserves all the rights of human rights. You know, in 500 years, it's going to look back at history and be like, oh wow, we really treated all our android companions as black people 400 years ago when we were fucking slaving them and hanging them and shit. You know, we don't want that happening again, especially with androids who are able to connect to everything and probably nuke us all if they decide to do it. No, it's seriously possible at one point. But I feel bad for the guy who was taking the girl hostage and the girl, of course. But I like that it's shown the different outcomes to it, and it showed Connor die, I think, twice in the trailer. If that's not going to be in the final game, I'm going to be disappointed, because I think it'd be really cool and original if you can permanently kill one of the main characters from the start. Like, Heavy Rain had some of the characters have bad outcomes, can die. But they were also very obviously not going to kill off several of the characters or any of the characters early on. Like, there's one point in time where you're playing as Scott Shelby, you're running through the mansion and you're killing everybody, but if you fail that enough, you don't die. You run away. You get shot to shit and you're like, oh crap, I need to leave. And you're like, that's really lame. That's really, really lame. So I'm hoping with the situation where Connor gets shot in the head and stuff in this, that it can actually happen early on and it will greatly change the outcome. Now, of course, I was going to say, of course, you can't kill all the characters at the beginning. Screw that. I want the option to kill all the characters at the beginning. Credits roll. Just die, credits. 10-minute game, love it, you know? Pure 100% optional, no forced destiny, your own free will. That would be badass. So, what else does it say? I also expect the game to be a bit shorter than what is marketed. I just said 10 minutes there. But, you know, these type of games, especially games today, there's a lot of, from the community, less so from the developers, they kind of just have to say, because gamers today are very entitled scumbags. You know you are. Where, oh, the game's only 12 hours long, I'm not buying this for $60. This is a ripoff. If the best games in history are shorter than that, you know, the best games in history are shorter and replayable. So I'm expecting this game to be on the shorter side, maybe 5 hours, 6 at most. And that's if, you know, you don't kill everybody, you get the good ending that will require many of the best decisions or whatever to happen. 6 hours at best, maybe, which is still a little long. And many replayable routes to take. So I'm expecting the game to be a bit shorter. If the company's like, oh, this is a 10-hour game, 5 hours. You know, there's not going to be, I don't think, any Uncharted bullcrap or the new God of War with walking around and just endless talking. At least I hope not. Though for this type of game, unlike Uncharted, which is high action and all these great set pieces, and God of War, which never had anything like that before, as far as I remember, This game, it would actually suit it. So I'm not going to complain too much should it be in the game. What else was said? The ambition of the development team is to make Detroit Become Human the most bending game they ever made, influenced by the decision of the player. Okay, the trailer shows the flow chart at one point. I don't think that's actually going to be in the game. I would kind of like if it was an optional thing after you've made the decisions. It would make trophy hunting a lot easier for me personally if I decide to go back and platinum the game, so I know what to do and what to say to get to the surrender choice, or the bad ending, or the girl dies, or the save the girl, or the girl falls but lives somehow, ends up she was a robot also. Nobody knew. But if it's in game as an optional thing you can get after you beat that part of the game, like you make the choice, oh, here's what you could have chosen. I'd like that a lot. I don't think it will be. I think it was just for the trailer, but it'd be interesting to see how it comes out. The player is going to have different characters and see. Wait, the player is going to play different characters and see the story from different points of view. It's not just about having different endings, but also different journeys that will generate different endings and different outcomes. So I hear there's 3 characters in the game. One is Connor from the trailer. The other one is Kara from, at least I believe it is, from the original showcasing years ago. And the third one hasn't been announced yet. The game also says that they're going to come together or whatever in the end, or at least it vaguely hints at that, the information that was given out a few days ago. So I'm guessing is the third character going to be like a Scott Shelby 2.0 situation, where it's like he seems like he's a nice guy, but then suddenly he's going to stab you in the back. I'm hoping that's not the case. Scott Shelby was honestly a very plot hole riddled character. We have you in your head the entire game, and not once did he say to himself, how am I going to hide this evidence? Instead, they gave a really BS roundabout situation of how they met it. So, oh, it may split personalities. Oh, when he's hiding all the evidence in the bookstore, it's a flashback. It's like, no, don't do that. That was really very poorly handled. What else is said here? I need to scroll down. The playable scene introduced at E3, which is the first scene of the game. Oh, okay. So if Connor can die, if that is left in, then yeah, 5 minutes into the game, dead. All right. I actually kind of skipped over that. Where was that? Has 6 different endings and has consequences through the rest of the game. Now that does lead back to the Connor dying bit, because I highly doubt that robot, that android up there, which is actually very different to a robot. But that android up there, I highly doubt he has a large part of the game, whether he lives or dies. I say maybe the decisions you make, if he does die, he's like, I trusted you, Connor. I say that might help make Connor more and more human in a way. Less, oh, we're meant to serve humanity, and more so, maybe the guy had a point. Maybe a little bit. But I am disappointed that this information states there is 6 different endings. I was hoping for about 10. 10. I think the trailer kind of made me believe there'd be more than 6. I'm hoping 6 is at best the least number of outcomes to any given situation. Even if it's asking me at a bar or something, what do you want to drink? I want at least 6 to 10 different options with no consequences from something so stupid, which I'll talk about in a minute. But 6 seems very, very low. I understand it takes years to build games like this, but for a game like this, I really do feel like it'd be better if you had more choices to make your playthrough very individual. Because to me, these are the type of games you only really play once and experience it and remember it. I only ever played Heavy Rain once in my own time. I ended up playing it a second time for the playthrough, and honestly, I had more fun playing it in my own time because I remember too much of it the second time round. The same with Life is Strange. I played that game once through myself, but then I watched my sister play it, and then I played a few chapters here and there to get the trophies for the platinum. And Life is Strange, one of my favorite games ever, but playing it again for the trophies definitely kind of killed my love for it in a way. I still love it now, but playing through it again, it was definitely a bit of a drag. So I'm hoping that the options allow me to have a completely different experience to other people, even if I only decide to play it one time, because it opens up conversation. And at one point I might want to go back and play it, especially if the trophies are easy to unlock. I'm a trophy whore, what can I say? If the trophies are easy enough to unlock, I'm going to go back and platinum it. What else is said? You influence the outcome in several ways, simply by playing or talking to people and making decisions. That's great, but with these type of games, the smallest, I think Life is Strange did it really well from what I remember. There might be one or two little things in there that I'm skipping over in my mind, but I remember Heavy Rain had a couple of little decisions that you thought were useless, but then they kind of screw you over in a way, and I don't want that. I don't want to be sitting down for lunch and having to choose between pizza and pasta, and have a friend die outside because, oh, there was no pizza in the freezer. I'm going to go across the street to Pizza Hut and get some. Oh, I got hit by a blimp. I don't want that. I want my decisions to be at least a little obvious to what will happen afterwards. I don't want to be talking to somebody and say, yeah, my favorite color is blue, and then they'll be like, oh, my favorite color is red, I now hate you. That is bullshit. If it's something like, okay, the girl's on the roof. If he said that the killer said, I'm going to blow her brains out if you don't throw your gun away, and you get the option, throw the gun away, don't throw the gun away, and if you say throw the gun away, he still kills her. Bullshit. If that's the immediate outcome. Of course, if there's a tree branching out and there's a bunch of decisions afterwards, that's fine, as long as every decision at least indicates slightly, not as full on, this is what's going to happen, but just slightly that it may come to this outcome. Because blind answers like that just lead to frustration, and in many other games it's false difficulty that nobody likes. So I'm hoping there's some freedom and a little hint of what's going to happen. It's set in the near future, where androids replace humans in many jobs. There are millions across the country. Some androids start to find themselves overwhelmed by feelings, even if they're not supposed to feel any. The new character introduced, Connor, is a deviant hunter that hunts those androids that are deviating from their protocols. I'm loving that a lot. I really like that concept, and I'm hoping that there is no bad ending to this. For one, it'd be very cliche and very stereotypical of having an android game, movie, book, cartoon, whatever, where they suddenly become sentient and are like, I want to take over the world. I want to kill all the humans. I don't want that. I think it's very, very unlikely that that's going to happen. But there's definitely some Blade Runner influences in the Connor trailer that we've seen. And I just definitely want to avoid anything like that. We don't need a Terminator 3 situation with the nukes going off and whatnot. And I also hope, there's little dust coming around. I also hope that Connor becomes more self-aware in himself. I really did like the android that was holding the girl hostage. I liked him a lot, and I hope Connor. I felt related to him in a way, because as a human, we all fear being replaced at one point or another, whether it's at a job or relationship or anything else really that can come along. And this android, from the information that is found in the repeat of the choices, Connor finds information that the android's going to be replaced, and a picture of him with the girl smiling. So maybe he's having a breakdown, a mental breakdown. He's not a malfunctioning machine. He was someone who was like, well, what's going to happen to me now? I'm being taken away from this family that I love so much. Are they just going to put me in a crate and let me rot? Are they going to dismantle me, kill me? Johnny Five? I want more about this. And if I'm just playing as this blank robot, because honestly, Connor is an android, but right now he's more of a brainless robot. If I'm going to be playing something like that the entire game, I don't want to. I don't like that character. So I'm hoping Connor will become more self-aware and be more about, hey, maybe this guy had a point. Maybe I am more than what they say I am. Maybe I can choose my favorites, foods should I eat, or TV shows, or make my own decisions that are beneficial to me in a non-selfish way, you know, that will end up with people getting shot and stuff, like the hostage taker. But I'm just hoping that I'm not playing as a very bland white dude machine, because honestly there's enough games like that that we don't really need. Maybe it's a stereotypical cliche breaker, whereas as a parody of it, I could see that. It's fun. It could be smart writing. But yeah, I'm just hoping, Connor, you know, grow a free will and make your own decisions, even if it's at the end of the game where the sergeant's like, kill him, and Connor's like, no, and kills the sergeant instead. That'd be funny. What else did I write down? I think that was it for the information. Oh, please, no false choices and no fake outs. I think I spoke about this earlier. You know, with Scott Shelby getting shot and runs away. I don't want anything like that. And no false choices that mean absolutely nothing. Now, I don't mean like go back to the pizza situation. If I'm hungry and I want to eat something, if I had the choice for that, I don't mean that has to have meaning later on. I just mean I don't want to make a decision with an important character and find out it was all for naught. You know? No awful controls. I think this is like 1 second, maybe 2 seconds long in the trailer. It looked like it's gonna have awful controls. As soon as Connor walks out of the elevator, that just it's like a second of him just walking forward. It seemed to me like he was a little off balance. He just shimmied a little bit. Heavy Rain gave me very, very bad situations like that, especially with the bookstore. I don't want to run into that again. So for the love of God, good controls. It's like my fingers got shoved into a blender playing Heavy Rain, and then it's like, hey, here, control the game. It's like, no, I have to relearn how to use my digits. You know, please just fix that up. That's all I ask. But E3 has made me very hyped for this game. I'm looking very forward to it. As long as there's no kid characters. You introduce a kid character like that little girl. If she's going to be hanging around me the entire game and I have to run around going, Sarah, Sarah, or whatever, I'm killing her. I'm pushing her in front of a bus. No kid characters. But yeah, E3 made me very excited for this game. I am definitely going to keep it on my radar from now on. I completely forgot about the tech demo and everything that was shown beforehand, but now I am going to keep tabs on it, maybe give more update videos on my impressions. Will I lose interest? Will I gain more interest? Probably about a 7, 6.5, a 7 in the hype meter right now, mainly because of flaws from Heavy Rain and from what I heard beyond Two Souls. I didn't play it because I really don't like that game, and I never even touched it. I see a screenshot and I'm like, I hate it. A very shallow reason, I understand, but a lot of my worries and doubts are coming from Heavy Rain and whether or not the developers will be able to fix them, such as the controls and some of the choices and some of the oh, he's going to die if I screw this up, and no, he didn't. He just got out of the tunnel, said screw the butterfly puzzle, and went home. He's like, alright. So fix all that, and this game could be a masterpiece. No plot holes where you're playing as a killer and you find out at the end, oh my god, I'm playing as a killer, because that's just bullshit. Spoilers for Heavy Rain. That came out 6 years ago. That's really all I had to say. The rest of it was just garbage that I decided not to talk about. Thank you for watching. I've been your host, Chris, K-R-I-S. I will most likely do more updates in the future. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And have a good day. Or not, because we are human, we have free will, and we are not programmed into doing specific tasks. Although I'd really appreciate it if you acted like you had to subscribe. It would be very helpful.